Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we have got a W204 C63 in. We've got a really bad misfire. The car is running not very well at all. It's done 62,000 miles. We did actually start filming this car to put in the monthly episode, but it turns out it's a bit of a bigger job than we thought. So we thought we'd make a video on this on its own. So we'll cut to what we've filmed so far and then we'll see you back in the garage. Right, C63 with a bad misfire. Can be simple, can be extremely bad. First things first, let's plug it in, see what cylinders are misfiring, and do some tests. This car's done 60,000 miles, so it's in really good condition, apart from the obvious misfire. When you have a misfire, obviously your engine runs rough, shakes, spluttering, if anyone's wondering what a misfire is, and generally your engine management light will flash on and off, on and off. I'm hoping it's just something straightforward. We've got misfire detection on cylinder 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we've got the position of exhaust camshaft, and oxygen sensors bank 1 and 2 have been swapped. It's an unusual code. So misfires 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is your front right hand side, left hand side if you're looking at the engine, right hand side if you're not looking at the engine. Starts at the front, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's unusual. We've got all 4 cylinders not happy, and we've got a code oxygen sensors have been swapped. I wonder if somebody's been doing a bit of testing on this and maybe unplugged the upstream sensors and plugged them in the other way to see if a sensor's causing an issue on each bank. Right, so we're just going to do some basics. I can't see 4 coil packs failing on one side, but we're just going to eliminate some basics, check plugs and stuff. Quick compression test on this side as well. Just good while you're in there for just cover the basics. Always cover the basics. No damage, but they don't look like they've been changed for a while. Don't know if anyone's ever walked into a towing eye cover sticking out of the car. It hurts. It's very painful. So we've got all the plugs out, coils out. Plugs need replacing, but they don't look in bad condition, as in that would be causing the problem. So I'm just going to do a compression test. If the compression test is good, I am going to swap some coil packs around to see if that gets rid of the misfire, which would be nice if it was just a couple of coil packs causing the issue. $200. Good compression. So what we're going to do is put the plugs back in. I've got some spare coil packs. I'm just going to fit to this driver's bank, see if that eliminates the misfire or not. It's worth doing the compression test whilst we've got the plugs out and we are experiencing misfire. It's just a bit of a while you're in there. Why not? Still got a misfire. That's okay. Right, we've changed the coil packs, made no difference whatsoever. So we're now going to concentrate on the other codes we've got. We have got a code for some kind of O2 sensor problem, which could cause a misfire, but I wouldn't expect it to be permanent. And we've also got a code for the right hand exhaust cam adjuster position or just a general fault. It's like the timing's out. So what we're going to do is the cam sensor for the right hand exhaust camshaft, we're going to change that first. When the car is running, it's just not fluctuating. All the other cams I can see are moving, it fluctuates slightly. That is doing nothing. I think I've got a spare, so I'll just swap it. So we're going to change that sensor out and try that, put the original coils in, retorque the plugs and everything, and go from there. Right, I've had to nip out to Mercedes. So Nathan has replaced the camshaft sensor. Not sure if that's going to fix it or not, but if it doesn't, I think we're going to have to check timing once we've checked out these lambda sensors. But because I've got more than a few fault codes going on, it's throwing me out a bit, but I'm not getting a reading from this, so we'll try that. No, so we still have a misfire. I felt like it started behaving itself for a second then. Timing could be out. We might have to take the rocker covers off and check the timing. But why would the timing have jumped unless the adjuster's stuck in one position and it's not moving? That's an option. Right, Nathan's stripped it back down again. I have a feeling we've got a bit of a timing issue going on. As you can see, rocker cover's off. So we're going to time it up at the crankshaft and just check the timing at this side. But whilst we're in here, it gives us a good opportunity to inspect the condition of the cam lobes. As you might have seen on one of our previous videos, fixing one of these, we had a camshaft issue where the lobe had worn out. So let's time it up and see where we're at. Just timed the engine up and Nathan forgot to undo the spark plug, so the engine was so tight, my bicep is on fire, and he found it hilarious. Watching me the whole time, I'm going, oh my god, these big V8s. Anyway, we're finally timed up. I need a new arm and bicep.
Don't look so good.
Spark plugs out. So as far as I'm aware, we're timed up at the bottom, so cylinder 1 piston should be at the top. So I'm just putting my screwdriver in to confirm. If my screwdriver went all the way down, cylinder 1 is not at the top. We've timed it all up and the timing is actually correct on the right hand bank where we're having the problem. But this is the adjuster we're having a problem with, the right hand exhaust. So I'm starting to think, maybe is that stuck in its wrong position or not locking out? But I'm not getting any rattling noise. I can't get any free play out of it. I've checked it with the spanner.
They're supposed to be locked with oil pressure.
Well, we are going to take it off, strip it down and have an inspection of it, see what's going on. Took the sprocket off, stripped it down. You can see the wear where the pin's been jumping out. That's not too bad, to be honest. I've seen a lot worse, but we're not getting any rattling or anything. And like I say, once the engine's timed up, it can move independently, so you know. But because we've got a misfire on that side, I could be barking up the wrong tree here, but I've committed now. So what I'm going to do is, as a bit of a test, I've got a used plate here. As you can see, that's got minor wear compared to that. I've stripped it all down. I'm going to clean it all out, fit this used plate. The only way to find out is to put it back together and start it up. I have a feeling that this was just stuck in the wrong position, but I could be wrong. I just could be completely wrong. But you know, the fault code that this isn't working, I've had to commit and go for it and get involved and see what's going on. If this cures it, great. we can then offer to rebuild all 4, which would involve stripping it down again, but I don't want to commit right now and say that's definitely what it is if it isn't, and unfortunately that involves putting it back together. Let's rebuild with this used plate and see how we get on with that. Right, I have rebuilt the cam adjuster sprocket as I explained with a used good plate. It's in better condition than the one that was on the car. Just a bit of a process of elimination this. It's quite unusual for a sprocket to fail bad enough that it shuts down the whole bank. It's not unheard of, but I just want to confirm. Obviously if this has fixed it, great, it will involve stripping it back down, but I think it's worth that confirmation. Anyway, this is the first startup since fitting it. I've just loosely put everything back together, and when I say loosely I don't mean literally, but it's not ready to return to the customer. So ignition on. No more misfire. I'm just going to let that tick over for a bit, but no misfire. Good stuff. All up and running. This is what I mean by the word loosely. Airbox is adjusting, nothing's tight. Coil packs are loose. Obviously we've reused the old gaskets, bolts, rocker cover gaskets, because this is just for testing purposes. We need to do some more tests to make sure we're happy with it, and then we need to give the customer the option. Options are, we can replace the one adjuster that's faulty as a complete unit, or we can buy a rebuild kit as we've shown before on the channel and rebuild all 4, which would involve a lot more costs. So there's a couple of options with this: replace the one faulty one or rebuild all of them. Really happy with that. A lot of people are probably thinking, what a waste of time stripping that down, rebuilding it, putting it back together. To be honest, we authorise a diagnostics fee and an hour's investigation anyway. Rather than say to the guy, oh, I think we need to change that, I was able to repair that for confirmation. I'd always rather ring a customer and say it's definitely that than we need to change that first and try. Don't get me wrong, in a lot of situations I can't do that because I don't have spares for everything, and I might have to say, oh, we need to try this. Some people might be watching thinking you've gone around the houses diagnosing that, but misfiring 1, 2, 3, 4, start with the basics. You know, compression test, check the plugs, check the coils. Because your engine is a V8, you basically got 2 engines bolted to one bottom end, so you can change everything left to right and see if your fault transfers until you get there. But because I've got a few spares knocking around for these, I can just swap stuff out. So anyway, my point is, customers authorise the diagnostics and an hour's worth of an investigation. I've probably not spent much more than that to do everything I've done, and it's just a nice phone call to say it's definitely that. Right, we've let it get up to temperature, and as you can see now, all our faults have gone to stored. They were current and stored before, could not get rid of them. So there we go, so they should now clear. Done. Yeah, we're at full operating temperature now. We can now unleash the beast. I can safely say it is running good and healthy. So let me get out of this car. Looks stupid squished in there. Let's get some quotations together for the customer, give him the options, see which one he picks, and get it done.
1 week later.
Right, we're about a week later. Customer has authorised a full repair kit. Felt like there's someone there then. Customer's authorised a full repair kit, so we've got this full kit from C63 Motorsports from Canada. So he's gone for the good option really. We're going to cover all 4, only one's failed, but we're going to Hello?
Hi Sam, it's George.
Hi pal, you okay?
How are you?
Yeah, good. Good, thanks mate.
I have a Vito, the van.
Yeah.
It has wheels, and I'm not sure it's meant to have wheels.
Yeah, they're on all Vitos then mate.
Great, thanks mate.
Right, back to the job. So we are rebuilding all 4. So now, unfortunately, we have to strip it all back down. Obviously, we've not stripped the passenger side down yet anyway. So it'd be interesting when we've got it stripped down to have a look at the rest of them to see if any would have gone faulty further down the line. So me and Nathan are doing a side each. So Nathan's doing the passenger side, which is actually the more difficult side to do because you've got aircon pipes in the way. There's a bit less room down that side. Good learning for him. So I've got this side stripped down already. So we need to retime the engine back up, replace a sprocket at a time, rebuild one at a time. There's also quite a few while you're in there as well. We're doing this. We change this gasket which sits on this front cover. It goes really flat, so we change that. We are also changing the rocker cover gasket, which obviously goes all the way around, and the spark plug hole seals. Customer has also, we told him we've got to take the plugs out to do the job. They are looking a little bit burnt, as you can see there. So he said change the spark plugs, no extra labour, it's just a good while you're in there. So we've got plugs, they're all the oil coil packs, gaskets, rocker cover gaskets, front cover gasket, brand new bolts. These bolts are what go through the middle. They're one-time use bolts, even though it's very, very substantial. Apparently one-time use only, so we always replace those. It's a bit of a why not while you're in there. And also the shim that goes in the back of the sprocket. Very, very thin, easy to be missed. We replace those as well. Customer has also asked when the job's done for a B service, which will be oil, air filter, cabin filter. So it's actually turning into a nice little job this. I gave the option of do you want an oil change doing at the same time, just nice to have fresh oil in your freshly rebuilt sprockets. Again, it's a good while you're in there, and he said well it's actually due a service in a couple of months, so he's going to have the service brought forward and just do the service now. All the good stuff you can have done is having done, so let's get it timed up and then get the sprocket back off, strip it down. Obviously not going to show you doing all of them, they're all very similar. Nathan's got the harder side. How are you finding it, Nath?
Fiddly.
Fiddly. So you have this vacuum line in the way which goes to the MOT valve. Got to get that out of the way. This aircon pipe doesn't help getting down, and then also when we come to remove the front cover, the power steering lines and the coolant pipe give you slightly less access. We're going to move them out of the way as well. So yeah, I'm just waiting on you, Nathan, so if you could hurry up mate, and then we can get it timed up. And
you're the easy side.
Yeah, I've done the easy side, which I've done twice. So both rocker covers are off, or back off again I should say. So we're going to time it all up now. So if you stick the camera on the cams, another while we're in there, as we're cranking the engine round to time it up, it gives us a good opportunity to check all the cam lobes to make sure the condition of them's good. It's just good to tell the customer another common fault with this engine, as you've seen in a previous video, so we can, you know, give it a good inspection for him. I'm quite happy with these, so it's just something to put the mind at rest. So let's get it timed up, get this sprocket back off, rebuild one. We'll get all the plates off and we'll see if any of the others would have failed anytime soon. Right, we've rebuilt the one we've already rebuilt, so this is its second rebuild. Just to jog your memory, I put a good used plate on to just rule out the diagnosis. So this one is done, that one's done. This is still loose because we've got to time up the camshaft position plate, I'll call it. So this is the same side but the intake side. So we'll take this one apart and we will see if this has got any wear in it basically. So that's the old pin, which I'm going to put in there because you get new pins with the kit. So another wire in there. And as you can see, slight wear to be expected really. I wouldn't say that's excess, but it did cause a problem on, you can see how bad the one that was causing us a problem. I was quite surprised that was causing that problem, to be honest, because I have seen worse. Not too bad if I show you comparing it to the new one. That's obviously perfect. So I'll have a brand new pin in there. Easy mistake to make. So this is intake, your exhaust. You can see that your pin location is the wrong side. So pay attention to your plates. It needs doing. It's not the worst I've ever seen. Any C63, well, any M156 that you strip down, you'll probably find wear on these if they've never been done. But yeah, we'll get this one done, get the rest of them stripped, see what they look like. Right, so that's this right hand bank done. As you can see now, we're all timed up again. We've got the front locking plate for the cam pickup rings, new shims and new bolts. So we've got to torque these in. It is a 45 newton meters and then a 90 degree. And then that is one side done. Nathan's got to have a go at the other side.
A few moments later.
The other side was actually worse than the side we've had the fault on, that being the worst one there. Plates on the opposing side were a lot worse than the ones where the fault has occurred. Definitely a good while you're in there doing all of them, not just replacing the faulty one. Like I say, all these parts are from 63 Motorsport in Canada. Details for that company below, and also approved fitters in the UK, us being one of them. Anyway, so what's left to do, we've got to put the rocker covers on, we've got new gaskets, place the rocker cover gaskets, we've got to put the new gaskets in the front cover. Nathan's already put his new gasket in. They're well worth replacing. Well, it's a must actually. We've left the oil drain in the whole time we've done the job, so we're going to get a really good oil drain and change. We'll put new air filters in because he's having a B service, and then let's get it up and running. As you can see here, you can see where the plate sits. Nice shiny plates on all of them. And that's it. So put the rocker covers back on for the last time, torque everything down. We'll see you when it's back together. Final stages now, putting everything back together. My side's done, all torqued to spec. Nathan is finishing his side off, torquing the spark plugs in. Special grease on the plugs and the coil packs. Change the oil filter. We've left it draining the whole time we've done the job. Fresh oil, fresh filter. I've replaced the air filters as well. How's your first cam adjuster repair gone, Nathan?
Alright, I just need to do a second one.
So we're nearly there now. Fresh oil in, fresh filter in. We've poured a load of oil down the filter housing. Nearly ready for the big start up. Right, everything's back together. Just looking over everything, make sure everything's plugged in. First start up. Is my microphone on? It's our favourite trick when we're trying to film. The microphone's never on. Right, it's Friday. It's towards the end of the day. We're going home in a minute. I've seen what the comment the guy said. We had a comment on our weekly / monthly videos where we do like a roundup of what's been going on, and we covered a little bit on this car, and somebody commented and said it's entered the shed of doom. Which is right. Yeah, this is where the really poorly stuff comes, but we're going to start doing more and more work in here to try and create more content with less background things going on. So yeah, this is the shed of doom. This is where the poorly stuff comes. So once this is done, actually, we've got another project coming. Well, not a project, just another job to be done in the shed of doom. Cut that, innit?
It's a good name, I need a sign.
Yeah, we need a sign outside that says the shed of doom. Anyway, let's start her up.
Nice. Sounds good. Let that get up to temperature by itself before we do anything. And then we can proceed with the service. I'm hoping we don't find anything wrong with the car on the service. Customer's already spending a lot of money. The last thing they want to do is ring him up and say, oh right, we've done that and we've now serviced it and found this, this and this. I'm actually going to give him a bit of discount with this job because he's added the B service on. Obviously I've had the airboxes off already. Doesn't take that much time to change the filters. You don't have to have an oil change done when you do this job. Personally, I would recommend it, but he wanted a service. He's been really patient with us as well. We've been so busy, and he was happy to just leave it with us to get it done, no pressure. Getting up to temperature now-ish. The reserve fuel light's on, nothing new there for AMGs. 50 degrees oil temperature, 71 degrees coolant. So I think that's a good job, well done. But it's like I said, it's a Friday, it's going home time. I'm going to just let this get all the way up to operating temperature and we shall see you on Monday, see what we find on the service.
3 days later.
Right, a new day. It's a Monday, fresh Monday start. We got it all back up and running on Friday as we explained. Nathan's actually already inspected this car, so I'm not going to take the credit for the service. Nathan serviced it and it's in really good condition. Tyres, brand new tyres. Brakes are good all round. The general condition of the car underneath is really good. Nathan's picked up that there isn't any online service history for the gearbox, so we're going to speak to the customer and see if he has or hasn't ever had one. If he hasn't, I'd recommend one. But there is a paint mark on the sump plug which somebody's marked, so there may be an indication that that's been serviced. We'll have to ask. And also the rear differential, no record of that being done before, so we're going to recommend that with the gearbox. Like I say, just because it's not online doesn't mean it's not been done. It could have been done at a garage that doesn't have access to that database. The condition of this car is really good. It looks like it's had new exhaust clamps, looks like it's had a new rear prop shaft coupling, which is quite common on these C63s. I was just capturing some B-roll footage of the rear prop coupling because I mentioned it's been replaced, and I've just noticed it's actually been fitted wrong. We've not fitted this, but it's a very easy mistake to make, so we're actually going to rectify this whilst we're servicing it, but I'll show you what's gone wrong here. I'm not sure if you can make out on camera, but it's not running perfectly straight. It's going that way and then that way, and the reason is somebody's put all the washers on the same side, which isn't correct. They've actually done a really nice job of it as well. They've marked up the bolts and everything to let themselves know they've tightened them up, but that is making the prop shaft coupling go like that. From memory, that washer needs to go on that side, because you can see that bolt is just rested up against it, so that should have a washer on the rubber side. That's correct, that's not correct. So we need to take the 3 bolts out and put that washer on that side, and then the prop shaft coupling should be perfectly straight. Spending a lot of money, this customer, so I think that's worth rectifying while we've got it on the ramp for him. We'll let him know we've done it. Yeah, we try and do little bits and bobs for people, help people out where we can. In fact, we do a lot of stuff underneath cars that people don't actually know about because we don't mention it, but I am going to mention that one because it's a bit of a biggie. He's had new rear brake hoses and brake pipes, another common one on these. Last thing to note is on these C63s, engine mounts are really common for dropping. They can even tear and separate and your engine lifts. We always check these on a service. Basically, that's the sump, that's the roll bar. Can you get your fingers in there? I can't even get my fingertips in there, so these engine mounts must be absolutely knackered. I mean, I've only got average size hands, but you should be able to get your fingers in between the roll bar and the sump up to your knuckles. That's like how I measure it. But I can't even get my fingertips in there, so I'm going to recommend engine and gearbox mounts, and that is it really. It looks like it's had a belt and pulley kit, possibly one of ours. I think it is one of ours. So yeah, really good condition car. It's had some new wheels on, which actually look quite nice. Michelin Pilot Sport tyres, which seem to be the go-to tyres on these days. The last thing to do is put a cabin filter in it, take it on a road test, and we'll go through some costing of what this has cost today. Right, C63 all done. Time to get it to the petrol station, get this reserve fuel light off, get a reasonable road test in. We can go through some costs. So as already explained, it's actually in really good condition, this car. It's had quite a few quid spent on it. 60,000 miles, low mileage example. It's actually a really nice colour as well. Very light grey interior, not very mechanic friendly. I do love these C63s. I've had a couple of them myself, as you probably know. Ooh, it's that low, that fuel. I hope we make it. Right, fuel stop done. I've just put £30 in it of Momentum 99 Tesco. Pretty good fuel. So, how much has this cost? Bearing in mind, we've got the diagnostics, the investigation time, the repair time to do the job. Customer opted for spark plug replacement, no extra labour charge. We've got to take them out to do the job. We recommended an oil change and filter. Customer kind of upgraded, I suppose, to a B service because it was due in the upcoming months. Have given a little bit of discount on the service because I drained the oil while I was doing the job, left it draining, so it's had a really good drain. That's the oil cooler and the sump. And I have to take the air boxes out to do the job, so changing the air filters is here and there. So giving them a little bit of discount on the service for the labour is saved, it's just fair. We found the prop shaft coupling, I don't want to say issue, but we just found it wasn't quite right, so we've rectified that. We've just done that for nothing whilst we're just poking around, and that's it. So bearing all that in mind, the total cost for this job is
I'm ready for me money.
£2,400 including VAT. A B service on one of these is £340 plus VAT. So if you take that out of the equation, we're in the just under 2,000. Spark plugs, it's had 8 spark plugs. The spark plugs on these, if I'm not mistaken, are £16.50 each, including VAT. Obviously no labour charge, but 8 plugs at £16.50, it's, you know, 100 and odd quid, 130, 140 pounds, something like that. Yeah, so it soon mounts up. The repair kit comes out at around £700-ish. The company it comes from is dollars, so whatever the conversion rate is. So the £700 is for the 4 cam plates. You've also got the shipping. The shipping was about £100, and then you have the import tax, which was another £100. Obviously, if you was to buy one cam adjuster from Mercedes, you're looking at that for one, and for the same price we are able to rebuild all 4. Obviously that incurs a lot more labour. Whilst we're in there, we replaced the rocker cover gaskets, the spark plug gasket seals, so you know you're looking at £30-40 per rocker cover. We've got 2. We replaced the large bolts that hold the cam sprocket to the camshaft and the little crush washer behind it. We also replaced the front cover seal. All job done, all the camshaft adjusters rebuilt, all gaskets, bolts required to do the job replaced, plus spark plugs, plus a B service, 2,400. And that is another C63 fixed. It actually drives really nice, this car. I don't own one of these anymore, but every time I drive one, it makes me want another one. It drives completely different to an E63. It'd be a good video actually, comparing the two so people can figure out which one would they prefer, because they're just nothing alike, to be honest. Get a couple of miles done in this. AMG, all money gone. I think he's looking over the vehicle. He spent quite a lot of money on it prior to it coming to me, to be honest. It's in really good condition. We have done a video previously on rebuilding the cylinder heads on a C63, where we might have gone a bit more in depth about this cam adjuster repair. So sorry if this one wasn't majorly in depth, it's just because I don't really want to repeat myself loads, but we'll leave a link below for the other C63 that we did, which is actually the same colour as this car. So what's left to do? Finish my road test, check fluid levels one last time, check oil level one last time. It could do with a bit of a bath. It's gathered up a bit of dust because it's been sat in the shed of doom. I'm really happy with the outcome of this one. Really nice car, drives absolutely spot on. So yeah, I think that concludes this video. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, ding ding, so you'll get notifications of when we upload new videos. Make sure you check out our website where you can buy your merchandise. And yeah, I think that sums this up. So we'll see you on the next one.